Welcome back to Orange Hat Reviews, everyone. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. So, Episode 7, Bad Batch, Battle Scars. Spoilers ahead! So, this episode basically is the inhibitor chip episode. They gotta get him out. Wrecker goes nuts, Rex comes in, and whatnot. So, yeah. I gotta say, this story they did it pretty decently. They had it pretty well done. A lot of people are gonna say, well, it was probably Rex that the Martell sisters contacted. No, I still don't think it was Rex. He says that the Martell sisters, or I heard that you guys were over here, the Martell sisters. He didn't specifically say that they told him. They told him. I heard from sources that you were in here because they heard from the Martell sisters, basically an indirectly. So yeah, I don't think that the Martell sisters were hired by a Rex. Now here's the thing, if they were hired by Bail Organa, and if that was Bail Organa in the end of that episode 6, well, then we got a continuity problem, because that means that Rex is working for the early stages of the rebellion, when, if you pay attention to Rebels, Rex didn't come in until he was nice and old and gray. So, yeah, that's a problem. It really is. And so, there's continuity issues. Potentially. Now, this episode has a Dianoga in it. For those of you who don't know what a Dianoga is, it is a rancid water-dwelling creature that is usually found in garbage chutes and rancid water areas. They are basically like they're a body with a neck with an eye and a lot of tentacles. And its central body has a mouth, kind of like a sarlacc, in a sense, to eat whatever it needs to eat. This creature was a little bit bigger than the one, or was a lot bigger than the one that was in Episode 4, A New Hope, where this one was actually big enough to tangle with Wrecker and try pulling him in. And I'm like, oh damn. But I did like how they had a Dianoga in this one. It was a nice little nostalgic moment. Wrecker going postal the way he does in this one, just when they're about to get his chip out, it's like, and I'm like, everybody, either train your weapons on him and stun him now, or you're all probably going to get your asses kicked or dead. Well, asses kicked it was, because he beat the shit out of most of them. And Rex accidentally stunned frickin' Echo, because Wrecker threw Echo into the line of fire and Rex accidentally stunned him. But yeah, Omega doing her best to get away from Wrecker after she gets him to go after her. That's the part that was logistically wrong. She starts chasing him, or he starts chasing her, and it's like, I'm sorry, he would have caught up with her in a heartbeat. He is bigger, longer legs, and stockier. He would have caught up with her in a heartbeat. She wouldn't have gotten as far, and he would have killed her, most likely. That is what would have realistically happened. But she's got plot armor. She's got a healthy dose of it. Now, am I going to say that she's a Mary Sue? Obviously, she is not. In this episode, it proves that she's not a Mary Sue again. You want to know how? She couldn't pull the trigger. Mary Sue's, even with their best friends, would have been able to pull the trigger to stop their friend from doing something. So, yeah, not a Mary Sue. And for those who continue to argue that she is a Mary Sue, I will say this. You're starting to act retarded now, because you're hating for hating's sake. I'm not calling out anybody specific. This is for everybody and anybody who does continue to use the Omega is a Mary Sue thing. She isn't. Get over yourselves. Now, this episode, basically, all it was chip removal and stopping Wrecker before he goes to full-on Death Squad. But yeah, then the ending has a nice little cliffhanger where it shows the Scrapper Guild getting a whole saying, "We got intruders on one of the ships. Alert the Empire." So now we're gonna have to, or now the Bad Batch is basically back on the Empire's watch or target list, and they're probably gonna send Crosshair and his unit out against them. Now, another thing that I do predict happening because of some of the dialogue where Rex and Hunter are talking to each other. If you ever need help, you know where to find me, and if you ever need help, don't hesitate to ask. We're going to probably see Rex again, and possibly even Ahsoka, before they do their full parting of ways, until they see each other again in Rebels. So yeah, this episode was around an 8 out of 10, objectively. There are problems with it. It will never go above an 8.5, as I said previous, because it still is already a ripped-off product. It's a carbon copy of the Null Arc troopers from the EU. So it will never go above an 8.5 objective. But it does fall around an 8 because the story does have a few more problems with it. Now, subjectively, I thought this episode was okay. I thought it was more around a 9-ish. Not happy about the ripoff and stuff, but I thought it was okay. It got a little predictable because as soon as I saw the person in the hood, it's like, and then they show a little bit of their face. I'm like, that's a clone, probably Rex. And lo and behold, it was Rex. He's my favorite clone from the Clone Wars. I will admit that full out. And then I'm like, I like how he meets Omega, and she looks at him. She's like, "You're Gen 1. Now, how would you know that? The lines on your face?" That's just such a kid thing to say, you know? Plus, she knows, or she's also worked at Camino. She also used to live there and work there and whatnot. She was taught a bunch of things. But yeah, the dynamic between Wrecker and Omega was nice to see. I like how they go out and racking up a freaking debt for the Bad Batch. It's like 14 freaking packs of Maxtel mix or whatever it's called. I'm like, oh my god. It is hilarious to watch. It's like, well, what the hell is Maxtel? So then you see them eating put it on SimStab. Oh my god, that is hilarious. So yeah. It's like, oh my gosh, man. Really, it is seriously hilarious to watch. But yeah, the Empire being called to attention that there's intruders in Braca is interesting, and I look forward to seeing what happens next. And I do expect to see Rex and or possibly even Ahsoka, that hurt, coming back. It just makes sense that it would, but actually no, it doesn't, because of the reunite. If they can't have Crosshair and his unit take care of the Bad Batch, they're gonna probably bring in the big gun, which is Vader. I do possibly foresee this happening. I am basically gonna say, if Crosshair's unit can't stop, or Crosshair's new unit can't stop the Bad Batch, then Vader will. They're gonna bring in Vader. I just see that happening. But anyway, yeah, this episode was decent was good subjectively. It was enjoyable. Showgoer, it was also enjoyable. Objectively, it did have its problems and logistically made not as much sense as it should have. But anyway, folks, that is going to be my review. I hope you all enjoyed this. If you did, feel free to leave a like, comment, share, all that jazz. Let me know Let me know all your thoughts down in the comment section below. What did you all think of this episode of The Bad Batch? Did you like it? Did you not? Let me know all that stuff, folks. In fact, this has been Orange Hat Reviews. Stay humble.